Come in, come in. Hello there, dear. Welcome to Magnus Adjusting Industries, or MAG for short. Yes. Are you a first-time customer? Excellent. Well, you get seated and get comfortable. I'm going to pull up your info and the file that you had already started online, right? Correct. And then I will give you a rundown on everything and we will get started with your adjustments, alright? Okay. Good. Could you spell your last name for me, please? Excellent. Great. I've got you right here, which is perfect. So, yes, I see here that you were filling it out. First time here. I can also see that you check that you've never had a face adjustment before either. Excellent. That is good to know. Well, you are pretty rare. We are a newer company, so a lot of our customers have been around the block. They've been to our other competitors before, and they've had some type of face adjustments in the past. Well, it's very exciting that you're just getting into it now. Exactly. Okay. And I see here that you are interested in a slight adjustment of your facial placements. So are you then looking to have any actual features changed in terms of your mouth, the color of your eyes, or are you just looking for movement of facial features? Like, say, putting your eyebrows more close or farther apart? Okay, well, we can do a variety of things today. If there's anything that, I think will be too much on your face to do today, then we can always get you back in for a second session. Excellent. Let me see here. Alright, well, so we could do the adjustments on the location of your eyebrows if you'd like. Excellent, so we'll add that today. Anything else in terms of movement? Okay. The eyes as well, with the eyebrows just slightly, so that it doesn't look off as well, for sure. And then what about the lower half or the midsection of your face? Any changes there? Okay. So just the left ear a little more forward. For sure. Can do that. If you're okay with touching you here for a second. Okay. So you'd like this one to be just kind of forward a bit more, closer to match your right ear. Yeah, it doesn't feel, actually I could get you to turn for a second. Good. To the left. Good. Back, thank you. It doesn't look like too much of a difference between the two. It's very minor, but they're your ears, so I'm sure you can notice these things a bit more than I can. Well, for sure. So put left ear. Sorry, I'm gonna touch your face again here. Forward maybe 3-4 centimeters. We'll try that, yeah. Okay. So we've got eyebrows and eyes slightly adjusted. Left ear forward 3 to 4 centimeters. Anything else for you today, my dear? And relocating your mouth a little bit closer to the center of your face. Can you just do a bunch of facial expressions for me? Just sit up straight. Thank you. And just whatever your most default face is. It's kind of hard to do, right? Okay. Good. And could you frown as much as you could for me? Well, you could do a little less than that. Like, it doesn't have to be comically down, just kind of when you're frowning or upset, kind of what you think your frown looks or feels like. Okay, good. Like, you just give me a nice smile. Again, nothing too comical, too big. Good. Okay, right there. Okay. And facial expressions back down. Thank you. I see what you mean when you do like a slight, in your default, like location of your mouth, there's no problem, but when you smile or frown, kind of move these sides of your face up and down a bit more, I can see what you mean where it seems like the slightest bit off to the left or to the right. So I agree that if you want it to be more standard with every facial expression you make with your mouth, to have it moved here towards the middle, just a little bit. It's like, sorry, I'm gonna be right under your nose for a second. It's the slightest bit off from your nose there. Okay. It's just, we will adjust that the tiniest bit. Good. Excellent. So, anything else beyond that, my dear? Nothing else we can do for you today, Magnus. Excellent. Okay. So, in review, to make sure we're on the same page here before we get started, we are going to be adjusting your eyebrows slightly farther apart, and in parallel with that, your eyes as well, just a little bit so that they don't look a little off-centered from your eyebrows. Your left ear, we're going to move a couple centimeters forward to match the location of your right ear. Good. And then your mouth, we are going to adjust. I don't know if it's going to be left or right yet, but we're going to do a slight adjustment on it to make sure that it's slightly more centered. So with your facial features, whether you're smiling, frowning, anything, that it is more centered. Excellent. So now, information quickly about our services here, right before we get started, is with our company, we do the facial adjustments. You pay a deposit and you will pay the rest in full when you come back in for a consultation in a week. That just allows time for you to adjust to your new location or your new types of features, see if they work well for you, and we can make any final minor adjustments from there. We do have, here, I'll send it over to you. Yes, you can read there on your own screen that we have a list of limitations on what we're willing to change. We're not willing to make major changes, for people who get, say their eyes shape totally changed and their eye color totally changed. We're not going to revert it back or change everything again. We can make some minor changes. Yes, so you can see that it includes minor adjustments, no greater than 5 centimeters, locations, colors, and actual designs of the facial features will not be changed upon this consultation session. Exactly. So that's why I want to check over that everything is what you want today. And then you can sign all this. We'll go through it. You'll come back in a week. We can make some minor changes in terms of location, just a little shuffle if need be. And then from there you pay the rest of your deposit and you're all set to go with your new face. All right, so I'm going to send over to you now the new consent form that we have here for you. If you just want to take a moment to quickly read that, and then you can just hit the accept button there, sign your signature, hit the send to me, and we're all set. Okay, you take a moment there. Good, excellent. Yes, and that send back button. Good. Got it here. Excellent. All right, well, that is all set for you here, my dear. Are you comfortable and ready to get started? Good. So this shouldn't take actually very long at all. I should have maybe explained that before, but with our facial adjustments, it's pretty quick actually. A lot of our sessions are more so just talking to me, getting all the info, figuring out what exactly you want to do. Yes, and you probably researched, but they are painless. You can't even actually feel anything or notice anything. Yes, it's with the newest technology, so. Well, if you make sure you're seated in the chair properly there, you can see that the light is on you and around you. You're in kind of the square, and that is where the light behind me is going to shine down on you, and that's kind of part of the technology that in reaching you is going to adjust based on what I am doing here. All right. So, if you're comfortable, let's get started with your eyes. For this part, I am going to need you to just try to either look at me or look at, the lights of the plants behind me a bit. Just past me, whatever's most comfortable to you. I just need you to keep your eyes open, all right? When we move on to your ears and your mouth, then you can close your eyes, okay? So let's start with these eyebrows first. Let's do a slight. Good. Adjustment over. Good. Okay, let me take a look. Okay. Gonna move these together slightly again. Good. Make sure those are level here. Okay. Good. I think you're right when I need to move back just a little more. Okay. So I'm just going to cover both eyes to make sure that your eyebrow's sitting nicely. Good. 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 Excellent. All right. So now, I'm going to get you to take a second, look in the mirror to your right there. Yeah, you're fine to turn away from the light. That's okay. So how do they see you? Yes. So that location, so try not to look at your eyes. I know that's very hard to do, especially looking in a mirror, but just try to focus on the eyebrows because the eyes will be what we adjust over next. I know it looks a little strange right now. Will be what we adjust next. Here. If I covered this one, is that better? Yes. So the eyebrow's okay there. Good. Okay, and both are equal. Excellent. Back to me. Good. So what I'm going to do next then is we're going to do your eye adjustment. All right, my dear? So again, eyes open if you can. Look back either at me, past me, kind of in the direction of the light above us. Good. The eyes, tiniest adjustments. Good. Just a little bit over at a time. A tiny bit more. Good. Okay. Sorry, I apologize if I keep throwing my fingers in front of your face. Again, I'm just trying to narrow down what I'm looking at here. Make sure it's equal. Excellent. So that's a 5.6 G over to the right millimeter. Okay. Alright, so at least I know what this one is at. So I'm going to adjust the left one for you, and then you can do another look in the mirror and tell me what works for you and what doesn't. That's 5.1, a little bit more. Okay, so those are at the same amount. Sorry, they're numbers and things that are on my end of the two-way screen here, but they're not something that you can see. So sometimes it's a one-way, sometimes it's a two-way. Alright, and look back in the mirror, please. Oh, yeah. How does that feel? It seems much better, right? Excellent, excellent. Any adjustments at all? How are the eyes? Okay, I can do that. Come back here. Eyes open again. I'm gonna put them a little bit farther out like you requested. Just by like a point of the tiniest millimeter, okay? At the same time here for a second. Okay, now let's try that in the mirror. Better? Good. Good. Yes, so now it's all your eyebrow to eye ratio is much better, correct? Good. And back. If you just keep looking straight forward at me, I won't ask you to keep your eyes open much longer if you don't need me to. Good. Okay, those seem lined up. Good, those are lined up. Excellent. Feel good? Feel okay? Let me know if you feel. Very rarely we have customers feel kind of unwell during or right after the procedure, but do you feel kind of icky, nauseous, very fatigued or anything all of a sudden? Good, good. Well, it just happens sometimes due to, I'm going to get you to put your head to the right there so I can see your ear directly. Excellent. Just due to how fast we're changing your features, your body sometimes, and your mind just can't keep up with the sudden change, right? Okay. So, we said, let me take a look here. Good, okay. I'm just going to take a second to zoom. Okay. And so you don't want the ear up or down at all, right? It's level, just forward a bit. Excellent. And feel okay? Good. And could you put your head straight back to me for a second? Good. Let me see here. I'm gonna feel your ears again if that's okay. Is the left ear sore at all? Maybe a little bit, yeah. That's okay. That won't last very long. Okay. They seem quite even here. Good. Well, back in the mirror again, my dear. Yes, it's very, very slight, but I see what you mean. There's just more of a evenness when you look head on. Come back to me. Yes, excellent. Yeah, it's something that you actually can't tell looking at one side of your head or the other, but definitely when I straighten you out, I could notice the difference. Any changes to your ear then? Excellent, glad to hear it. Well then, we are on to your mouth finally, right? I told you it doesn't take very long, which is excellent for both myself and for you. Finally, in this last part of the process, I'm trying to figure out how we want to do this today. I think I'm going to get you to do your default face, a smile, and then a frown, and we're going to make that slight adjustment every time until it's kind of centered right where we want it, okay? So start default face. Good, okay, so that's where it is on default. Okay, so maybe we need to adjust slightly too. Let's try the slightest bit to the left. Okay, now I'm going to get you to smile, just a gentle smile, your usual smile. Okay. Okay, that's not quite going to work. Okay, just stay there. I'm going to put it actually to the right a little bit. There, that's much better. Okay, good. And now could you go back to your default face to see where it's sitting at? Okay, that's much better. It's much more centered to your face here now, both in the smile and the frown, or smile and the default. Sorry. Finally, I want to test it in the frown. Okay, so give me a slight frown. Okay, I see. So it's a little off in this mode. Let me see here. Move it slightly to the right again. Oh, that's too much. Just try to maintain the frown as best you can. I'm going to go back to the left. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, now it's much more centered and very nice in the frown. Now, for the test, back to your default face. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, you're going to get very good at posing with these faces. Okay, and finally, let's try with the smile. Let's see. Okay. You tell me. Look in the mirror, do each face, and tell me what you think. Yeah, minor changes make a big difference. And then to the frown. You see what I mean? There's something slightly off. The frown and the default are fixed now, but when you smile, it's slightly askew. I think I know what I could do. Just back. One last adjustment here. Let's try this one, okay? But a moment more. It might be the angle that your mouth is at, actually. So let's try this here. There, okay. Big smile. Good. Default. Very good. And frown. Excellent. That is so much better. Take a last look in the mirror, dear. Better. Good. And how's the whole face feel? That's amazing, dear. Back to me. So, sounds great, correct? So, anything feel sore? Anything feel like off or like there's any issues with it? Between your ear, your eyes, your eyebrow, your mouth? No. Good to hear, my dear. Alright. Well, is there anything else we can adjust today? Any little minor things I can adjust? Well, because of that, yeah, let's see how you feel by next week. You can go to my receptionist and get a time booked for next week. It has adjusted to the new placement of features, and then we can go from there and tweak it just a little bit if need be. Oh, well, it was my pleasure. You take care, my dear, and I will see you next week. Best of luck with your new face. All right. Bye now.